Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Dismissed. Welcome everybody to the board meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Please silence your phones. Okay, one thing before we get started, I wanted to mention that, I don't know how many of you know that Marcel Charlie. I just wanted to mention that, I don't know how many know that Marcel passed away, and keep his family in your prayers. Okay, roll call.
Yes, sir. Paula DePace. Here. Eileen Dunn.
Here.
Susan Muniak. Here. Donna Mosier. Bill Heidenreich. Jennifer Smiley. Present. LeMay Nyford.
Here.
Ed Wayner.
Here. Proof of notice.
Proof of notice is posted on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, disposition of prior meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the prior meeting minutes.
As written.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report, motion would be in order.
I move to accept the report as printed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Manager's report.
If Jack is talking, I can't hear anything.
He's not talking, Sue.
Just get warmed up, Sue. Okay, on July 8th, the flagpole was delivered for the Veterans Memorial. You'll see it laying back over there on the floor. It's a huge 25-foot pole. We're gonna have to coordinate the Three Seasons bucket truck to get it upright and in the hole. So it's here, we just gotta get it put in.
Did you get the part?
Yeah, everything came back in, was redelivered, all intact. Our crew trimmed the large oak tree right out here in front of the auditorium. Mark fixed the directional sign at La Madeira and Ponderosa that was hit by a vehicle. Nick rebuilt the directional sign that was hit at Ranch Road in Ponderosa. I don't know what's in the water of late, but they've been taking out signs. Like I said, the flagpole was delivered. On the rain day, the crew worked on touch-up paint of the ceiling in the lobby. I've had numerous conversations with the county about the storm drainage on Wabash and Driftwood. The supervisor keeps asking for my patience on this issue. As he states, the county is working on the issue. They tell me they're gonna camera the storm drains over there, CCTV, and see what they can find out why it continues to flood. They just haven't got around to it yet. I will keep following up on that. At the time of this writing, I wrote as of July 12th, we were still waiting on AquaCal to come out and address the geothermals, but they did come out the other day. They identified the problem as a flow issue with the source water. Now, source water is the pump that draws water from the lake into the geos. He believes, he says we need to clean the screens and then check the pipe for cracks. It's evidently sucking air or something, depleting the flow, causing the geos to kick off. So we're going to follow up on that in-house to see what we can get done with that. I don't think they've had any real temperature issues with the pool since then. The weather's been keeping it good. The paving bore samples have been taken, results submitted to the engineer. The survey crew was out this morning, so their report should be delivered to the engineer by the end of the week, and then we can go after Pavemaster with whatever the issues are and get that all straightened out and get them paid once they're done with it. Bandit Fitness repaired the lat pull-down machine that required a cable adjustment. They also performed the regular maintenance on the rest of the equipment. LeMay, you'd be happy to hear that Nick finally repaired the crack at the east front door over here. And as of today, he's also been working on repainting the deck out there, the concrete walkways. Mike continues to work on installing sod and mulch in the bare areas of the new parking lots. As of today, talked to Pool Medic, the spa chlorine generator cell failed. They're going to put a new one in under warranty. Of course, we're going to have to pay labor on it. And they're going to want to put a timer on it, just like they did on the one on the pool, so it doesn't run 24/7, because that wears the cells out faster. So I authorized them to go ahead and do that. The health department was also out here today. Pool and spa passed with flying colors, but they did say on the spa, we may need to fix the automatic ORP feeder, which is a automatic chemical feeder. We've been using a salt generator for chlorine, manually supplying that, or using what's called an erosion feeder, putting tabs in the feeder. They're saying for public use of a spa. He's gonna check on the ordinance, but he believes we may have to repair the ORP system. Why, I don't understand, because it'd be double, triple redundancy of what we're already doing. But he's gonna let me know. As of violations, we had 70 resolved, 50 new ones, including driftwood. And that includes my report.
May I just make one correction? It's not the Veterans Memorial, it's a Veterans Honor Area. It's for living and past, not just.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's just in the wording that I feel like it's not honoring the people that we still have that are veterans.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jack? Eileen?
Are they painting along the woodwork that's up on the top, the trim work?
Yeah, right here,
Yeah.
like this.
We were in the ladies' room, we noticed there's a lot of dust on the sill.
Okay, I'll get that to Gene.
Yeah.
But Nick has been, on the rain days, Nick has been working on touching all the trim up around the clubhouse.
Yeah, I hope they're cleaning it off.
I'll let Gene know that needs to be done.
Okay, moving on to the Art Committee.
Ed Eber for the Art Committee. We received 17 requests, all 17 met the requirements of the art situation.
I make a motion that we approve the 17 recommended by the art committee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. I would like to address, at the last meeting, we had a resident who thought that by getting a neighbor's approval for a fence, that they would be able to get it in. That is not true. I looked that up in our ARC guidelines. In order to do that, the fence must first be allowed, and there are no fences allowed in the senior section unless you live up against family section or another section, or if the fence had previously been installed. And if it was previous, if you did have a fence that was in previously, it has to be replaced within 30 days. So that regulation, as far as getting a neighbor, is if the fence is already approved to be put in. And in that instant, and in most instances in the senior section, it is not allowed.
Okay, committee reports. Fines and suspension.
Jean Waldman, Fines and Suspension Committee. At our hearing on July 16th, we had 4 violations. 1 was enforced, 3 were enforced, and 1 was corrected. And so the ones on the fines, we enforced $50 a day up to $5,000 maximum.
You know why the one was not enforced?
There was 3 not enforced. Were forced. They were fined. 1.
No.
The one that normally is not enforced, Eileen, is one that has been corrected.
It's been corrected.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll make a comment. Can people have their committee reports ready for Debbie? What day do you put this out? Usually a couple days in advance, right? You have to have the reports ready in advance for Debbie.
According to the report,
Okay,
the fine was yesterday.
Let's move on, please. Live Oaks.
Hello, I'm Gail Rupp. I'm reporting for Beverly Hudock, president, who is unable to attend. From our Live Oaks board meeting, which the last meeting was June 25th, We discussed and scheduled some of the events for the balance of 2024. We had a report since the meeting about the July 4th picnic, which was attended by 115 people and very well received. I've heard several comments that the addition to the musical events, etc., had made that such a nice event. So a lot of people were very pleased with that. We have scheduled the next Live Oak Social, which will be September 3rd. Holiday open house quotes will be presented to the TAXA board in August. We're still waiting for responses from 2 caterers. And then the next Live Oaks board meeting will be July 30th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Okay. Fines and suspension information. My stack. Okay, new business. Turf grass. LeMay, you checked into this. You want to give us your information?
At our last meeting during open forum, one of the residents, Dave Tiller, asked about turf grass because he had seen it on a visit to Arizona. And, we all thought it would be great. We would have to send out a requirement to change anything that is in our statutes is to send to everyone. And then it's a ridiculous amount that have to come back in order for it to be changed. But I thought maybe we could get that through on a Florida-friendly environment, because we do allow that, where stones or things that the state allows that doesn't take water. And this sounded really good, no water and no bugs and not having to take care of all the weeds. So I did look it up, and unfortunately it is not one of Florida-friendly. And I will read what it said about that. The Florida-friendly landscaping program does not consider artificial turf to be environmentally friendly. The program recommends using artificial materials sparingly in landscapes with plants because they can increase heat and harm wildlife habitats. Artificial turf can also have other negative effects, including higher surface temperatures. Artificial turf can get much hotter than natural grass, sometimes reaching temperatures of 160 degrees. These high temperatures can lead to heat-related illnesses, especially for athletes. We don't have to worry about that. And sorry. Destroys beneficial microbes. Artificial turf can harm beneficial microbes in the soil. It contributes to the heat island effect. Artificial turf can contribute to the heat island effect. Does not provide habitat. Artificial turf does not provide habitat for wildlife or beneficial insects. If we were to decide that we wanted to okay this despite this, it would have to be a mailing to everyone. 70% would have to be turned back in order for us to add this or change what we already have in our regulations. So, thought it was a good idea, Dave, so.
Yeah, the price for the artificial is also extremely high.
Well, and I also thought it was funny that they said it doesn't last as long as regular grass. Really?
You're better off pine sod.
I don't know if the extreme cost of putting it in, and of course, I think that will come down eventually, but I don't know if that makes it any better in the fact that you don't have to water and you don't have to pay for maintenance on it or weed control and you don't have chemicals running into our water system. It sounded to me like a really good idea, but we'll have to wait and see what what residents decide on this, or if we want to go any further with it.
Better office.
Come to the microphone if you have a question.
Ellen Baldwin, 10602 Springwood Drive. What are some of the alternative choices that are allowed here?
We allow anything that goes under Florida's environmentally safe, which means native grasses, not native grasses, but native plants, cactus and succulents that won't take up all the water, ground covers that will not, again, succulents, stones are allowed. They have rubber mulch. I mean, and all of this is allowed. Anything that is allowed under Florida's environmental study is allowed in Timber Oaks. That's something that we cannot regulate and we cannot stop. That is a
But you
state
still need to put in
regulation.
an arc for that.
You know, I don't know, because you don't have to put in an arc to put grass in. And if this is allowed, I don't know that you would have to. I would think it would be a good idea just to make sure that what you're doing is allowed.
Okay,
But yeah.
thank you.
And I'd like to add that the turf types as well, you're allowed, of course, St. Augustine Floritam, Bahia, Zoysia, Bermuda. I would not recommend the Zoysia. It's very invasive. It will take over any other grasses that you have in your lawn. It is not drought tolerant at all. I had that problem in my yard, still do. So I do not recommend using zoysia grass.
I believe the covenants tell us St. Augustine in the covenants.
Yeah, well, that's a
Yeah. So you can't use all those kind of grasses you mentioned.
And in other words, anything that's a crabgrass you can put in Florida because
Friendly, yeah.
Annie?
Anna Sego, 14116. I agree with the zoysia grass. When we lived in the middle of Kansas, that was very popular. That had to be burned once a year. Out there, they had to burn it for it to regenerate. Yeah. So I mean, I would love to see something we could have that stayed green all year and would cut down my water bill enormously. But I know you did some of the cons about it. I just wanted to add that the fake blades, they produce like black crumbs. That's what holds it to the matting, I guess. And it routinely breaks down and becomes airborne. And so that's a health issue for anybody with respiratory problems. And it isn't maintenance free. It's somewhere down the road, you do have to replace parts of it. But my big concern is we have people in here that change when they do landscaping, it kind of changes the water flow. And I know in my neighborhood, one person did it in the neighbor's yard now floods when we get the live floods when we get a heavy rain. So if we were to put this down, where's the water gonna go? You know, I just worry about the flooding in here that it might create if everybody had it.
Well, it's permeable, so water goes through.
some of it.
Well, and remember, it's also made from petroleum and old tires. And think about the chemicals that's, that is in the air that's caused, to make this stuff too, so.
Ellie?
Ellie Malloy, Pine Drive. I'm just, you say it's not environmentally friendly and it's not recommended by the state guidelines. So you really don't have a choice. If say my neighbor wanted to do it and I didn't, they can't have the choice, and we can't put that in our ROC documents then because they don't consider it. Because it seems to me we talked about this years ago too, and that was the reason when they first started with that and said it needs to be environmentally friendly. And certainly everything's been very negative about it. But I've been grateful for the rain. My lawn was looking like terrible, I was embarrassed about it. But now with all the rain we've gotten, it's looking pretty good again. So it seems like we're discussing it, and yet if we try to put in our documents, you can't get permission from the state anyway.
No, we can make our own rules as far as if we want to allow it in our community. But it's not something that we can automatically put in because we do allow the Florida environmental safety. We do allow those things in. This is not part of it. So if we want to put it in, and seriously, from what I've heard about it and what I've read, I don't think we do. If we do, we can vote on it. And if the majority vote for it, we could put it in.
Oh, you could put it in the document.
But I don't think we really want to.
And then Eileen mentioned it's very expensive, right?
Yes.
The turf.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on. Age restrictions. Jen, you want to address this?
Thank you. I've had a few phone calls about unaccompanied minors in the clubhouse. Not that they're doing any damage, but there are opportunities for mischief or damages to them or to our equipment. The sewing room, the kitchen, the workout room, to give you some examples. So with that in mind, I checked with the manager, and we only have a sign for the billiard room, and that's only at the front of the billiard room. You have to be 18 to use that. And we have nothing in our rules and regulations about unaccompanied minors in the clubhouse. So at this time, I'd like to move that we amend our rules and regulations to include the following. All guests of residents in good standing that are under the age of 18 must be accompanied by an adult or guardian while using the clubhouse facilities. The resident and or owner will be held responsible for any breach of this rule.
Second. Is there any discussion? Eileen?
Yeah, I've been in here and chased some of the little kids out. They're not little, but some of them are like 12-year-olds in the gym facility. And or people in there with flip-flops. You know, they should not be in there with that, ask them to leave.
The problem, Eileen, is we don't have any rules against that behavior.
And
So rather than have something happen, I'd like to nip it in the bud before we have any issues or problems. And I think most people are responsible. I don't think the ones that were observed were doing anything wrong. It just brought concerns up.
But they come in there when they're bathing suits and start fooling around in there. And I think that people, I don't even really know if they live here, in the pool room, that are like 16, maybe they're 18. And you know, they say, oh, I live with my grandma, but I don't even know if they are.
We do have
you know.
age restrictions for the pool usage, so I don't think this really pushes the boundaries.
We could easily just put a sign on the workout door stating no one under 18 or must be accompanied by adults, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Maybe put a sign on the doors coming into the building, because it's not just there. The pool tables, we all know what we spent for those things. I don't think we want young people in there.
Yeah, we could put matching signs on the front doors
Correct.
as well as the back door.
Yeah.
We could simply do
Okay. It's been moved and seconded.
Good job.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, moving on to fines and suspension information.
And there are a lot. So I move to fine the owner of 11039 Pepper Tree Lane $50 a day for maintenance and violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Sue seconded it. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to fine the owner of 8034 Merrimack Drive $50 a day for signage which is in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10534 Hardwood Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot is in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Wait a minute.
What happened to the others?
Second.
Wait a minute, what? I just put those over on the dump.
Second.
Never mind. We'll do that one later. Move to find the owner of 8034 Merrimack Drive, $50 a day for maintenance of the lawn, which is in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 11521 Elder Lane, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot, which is in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 11521 Elder Lane, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot. This is the trimming of the trees and the brachias, in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
This one's nice.
Next one has been corrected. So that one will be skipped, the one on Hachita.
Second.
Yeah, I don't know that I,
The second one is still.
The whole front door.
okay. Move to find the owner of 10803 Hachita Drive, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot, that's the shrubs, in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 8200 San Felipe Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the home in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
This is for rust on the driveway and on the house, and it was Sue seconded.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10734 Los Santos Drive, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10534 Hardwood Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10505 Hardwood Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the home, violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10515 Hillrise Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10515 Hillrise Court, $50 a day for maintenance of the lawn in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Geez, they got three of them. Move to find the owner of 10515 Hillcrest Court, $50 a day for maintenance of lawn in violation of Toxis covenants, up to $5,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10550 Calico Loop, $50 a day for maintenance of the lawn in violation of Texas covenants up to $5,000.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Move to find the owner of 10550 Calico Loop, $50 a day for maintenance of the lot, which is the shrubs, in violation of Texas covenants up to $5,000.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Should we get bigger pictures?
What's the matter?
What happens to the big pictures we used to get?
Those have been gone for months, Eileen. That
It's
was,
the
this
new
is the
process,
new one.
new computer system with the thing.
I think you missed that meeting. Yeah. Move to find the owner of 10711 Salamanca Drive, $50 a day for underage occupant in violation of Texas covenants up to $5,000.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The end.
Okay, we had a correspondence letter from Nancy Bueno concerning the roads. We really don't have anything to do with the roads, so she needs to check with the county on roads.
I just want a question. Yeah. I happen to live in this development that folks were talking about, Oak Forest. And I talked to the people that were actually paving the roads, and there's a lot of places that they can't even patch because they have to have a big enough hole for the patch material to adhere to. If the hole is not big enough, the rain will wash the black top stuff away. I had a couple in front of my house. I said, "Can you fill those?" And they said, "No, because the rain's going to just wash it away." I said, "Well, that's a real mess." They said, "Well, unless they do the whole road, the patch isn't going to work there. You got to wait till the whole gets bigger." I'm like, and I've asked them several times, and I know they're taking tax money out at our preliminary taxes, and they're going to be taxing us to do our roads, but like the letter says, we're going to have to wait until our road comes up on the list. And there's not going to be much we can do to make that speed up. Whether we talk to Jack or them, it's going to be up to the road crews to decide who gets the first shot.
Okay,
I went through all the correspondence that Nancy sent in, and she has gone back and forth with them about this. This isn't done just by throwing the names in a hat and coming out. They have a committee that will look at all the roads and determine which ones needed first. I think by her writing the letters and everything that has come back, I think that maybe that might push you up a little bit, but I don't think it will make a big difference. Let's face it, 90% of the roads here are bad. But they also put in the fact that I think in 2009, someone asked about it, and it was a huge no from the residents, because at that time it was allocated that each house paid a certain amount, either your road frontage for the roads that were repaired. I know that also went around where we are, and the same thing happened. So I think at this point, there isn't much we can do. If you would like, we can have Jack send a letter from Timber Oaks, from the board, asking that our roads, receive some priority, and the fact that they are pretty bad, but I know there are a lot more roads around here that are just as bad. And at that point, I think that's about the most we can do. I don't think we're going to change their mind about which roads they're doing first. And of course, now that it's in our taxes and already included, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are saying, "Put me first." That also turned it down. So I think it's a rough situation. Sending a letter, I think, is minor. Debbie, is that something we could do that's not,
Would you recommend Jack Mariano?
yeah, good luck to you. We've been at Jack for quite a few things, and I'm not completely sure that he's really doing anything. But we can do that. We can send a letter to him first and then follow it up.
I mean, he will respond. He may
Yeah.
contact somebody else.
Either way, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that? Sending a letter? No. Okay.
You guys want to talk?
Yes, with respect, M. Jarrett on Casuarina Drive, part of Oak Forest, and other neighbors here from Oak Forest as well. As Nancy couldn't be here, as she said in her letter. We were just asking, she has contacted the county, different departments, the paving department and the county commissioners. And of course, as you know, and it was mentioned by the one board member, that the rules have changed. They're going to a tax. It's going to be countywide rather than, you know, whoever speaks the most and gives the most money supposedly gets their roads done, as it was 9 or 10 years ago. These roads in Oak Forest and San Clement were mentioned in the letter, and there's probably others in here, Timber Oaks as well, have not been paved since the late 70s. The county has admitted, the paving department, that the 20-year estimated average life of residential streets is 20 years. And as it was mentioned 10 years ago, it was apparently enough need that the county came to some of the residents, or I don't know how that worked, but anyway, residents voted it down because of the high assessment at that time. So it was a need then, and now it's 10 years later. These roads are falling apart. We just asked, as representatives of our community, this board would at least write a letter either to the commissioners or to Mariano, or what is his name, to readdress this under the new situation, the new tax, to get us back. Apparently we were on near the top of the list before. We just want you folks to speak for us rather than inundating them, which we will if you don't act, with hundreds of emails and letters to get it paid. Thank you very much.
Well, I would like to say it all helps. It all helps. You know, we will send a letter, but, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But, yeah, they just changed this. They just changed this recently where they're going to take it out of the general budget and add it to everyone's taxes. So, yeah, like they said before, they sent a letter out to the residents on the street, and if you agreed to pay the assessment, if you had, you know, but over 50% that would agree to pay it, then they would do it.
I find it funny that they're enacting this, but they're not doing anything till October. Really, how long have we sat with these roads and they've done nothing?
They're paid by Walmart.
Of course.
One other thing, I don't like crowds.
Okay, please identify yourself.
My name is Elizabeth Graham, and I live in the area. And I have a major problem in front of my house.
The microphone.
And it's called a storm sewer. This has been going on since I moved here in 2006. It's been going on since 2013. They finally did from one storm sewer to the other storm sewer. Storm sewer I am is falling apart. They come and cement it periodically. They had holes where they put something on it, okay? So they've done really nothing at all. They left the bad one. This is what they did 2 years ago and put this at everybody's house around. You see how bad the whole line was into the sewer.
What did it say?
Huh?
What
They
is
don't
it?
tell you anything.
I know they replaced the one out here.
They
I
said-
remember when they dug it up.
Yeah, well, 2013 is when this all started. I fell in a hole. They weren't gonna do anything with all the holes going from one street to the other street. But finally, when one opened up 5 feet from my house, Okay, then I went ahead and I wrote a letter to Billirakis. 2 weeks later, they came out. So maybe that's what you need to do.
There's
We will
another,
certainly do that. We will,
I
and if
mean,
that doesn't work, then we inundate him.
What
with hundreds.
happens if a car falls in there or something like that, or somebody falls in? They finally came in and, you know, put black tar over the hole again. The sewer itself is falling apart.
there's another one right
They
there.
come and say, they fix it periodically.
You know, those barricades were up there, those things. they put
We
up.
can't hear you.
The barricades were up there for 2 years that I've lived in there. She's had these orange and white fold-out things in front of it.
There's another one just as you come in that village,
Yeah, I know.
off
I
on
see
the
that.
right, and they just come in and they put tape around it, put some sticks. And they've repaired that one twice.
I know.
It just falls in.
Well, they don't look at the roads
Well,
and things like that.
This is a county.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, but there's only thing we can do is send a letter. And we will do that, okay?
If somebody gets hurt though.
Well, then you sue the county because it's their problem.
Will we know what response you all get from them?
We can keep coming back. We can come back with that, but whatever we get, we will update it at our meetings.
That's up on Salamanca, right?
And I know we have fought with the county before over the drains because they didn't want to take ownership of them. But we proved that they were theirs, so.
Everybody's a taxpayer here, so. Yeah,
Exactly.
but everybody's gonna be paying. Maybe.
All right, thank you.
Paula Lannon.
What is it? Casuarina. Thank you. He can vouch for it because he lives down the street.
Paula Lanham, 8021 Los Alamos, and really appreciate all your support on this, because we are going to be talking to them. It would be nice to see our community back us up. And however high we need to go, we don't care.
You said you're going to be talking to them. Do you have a meeting set up?
No, we don't. But
If you do,
we'll see what happens with this.
okay. If you do at any time meet with them, please let the board know. I know I will gladly come with you as a representative of the board and maybe others too. I'm just saying.
Sad shame. There's a few communities also that are worse than here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we noticed when we were buying in here. It's like, God, these roads are horrible. And this lady, you know, every time I walk my dog, barricades here. 2 years. Are you kidding me? I almost was at the point where I just wanted to take it back to the road department and stay here. Because that's, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. Meeting adjourned.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Good.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Open forum.